people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here, and it's another look what I've been watching. We are currently up to 72. So yes, this is the series where we go over the physical media I've been watching in the past 7 days. As I state, physical media, so we don't do anything I see at the cinema, we don't do anything I streamed or live, which can be sometimes a lot. So let's throw it up here. So this is what I have been watching for the week of 72. We go in reverse order, so we shall start. So the first one up is a good old James Van Der Beek in Varsity Blues. I've never seen this before. Didn't realise how many famous kind of up-and-coming stars. Obviously, Ailey Latta, John Voight was already there, Paul Walker and stuff like this. So yeah, so this is based on kid high school football team. All these young lads grew up together in the same town. John Voight is their coach, and they're going for his 23rd champion. He's not a very nice coach. And kind of Paul Walker's the quarterback, the main star. James Van Der Beek is the understudy, who is very good but doesn't really isn't really interested. They all kind of have their plan set, and then unfortunately due to an injury or several injuries, the team has then a very up and down end of last 4 games, which is what the span of this kind of movie followed. I enjoyed it. I like these type of movies. It was good to see the team doing it for the team and not for the coach, because obviously he's not a very nice person. I don't think it's based on true events, but it wasn't too bad. The next one up is Big Trouble in a Little Chinatown. So yes, so the Kurt Russell movie. So anybody who hasn't seen this or doesn't know, obviously Kurt Russell is the main character in this. Stars the lady from Sex and the City and Mannequin. I can't remember what her name is now. Or if it says Kim Cattrall, that's the one. But the Jack Burton main character is basically the premise for Casey Jones for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is where they got the inspiration from. Essentially is he's a trucker. He has a friend that he gambles with, and his friend owes him some money, but he's going to get it when he picks up his girlfriend from the airport, and she gets kidnapped by this gang because she is Chinese but has green eyes. And then it takes them to this Chinatown where you have these two Chinese factions who are fighting against each other, and then you have this evil wizard Lo Pan as his feature there, and then he has his 3 henchmen, Thunder and Lightning and Winds, and it's very kind of mystical. And that it's, when you look at it, the final fight is a little lackluster. There are a few little bits that are a little bit campy and stuff in it by John Carpenter, but it is quite a nice, enjoyable movie for its time. Only 95 minutes long, but good to see Kurt Russell and some of this, and it all goes together really, really well. Obviously there's some creatures and stuff, and it is one of these movies that ends with this kind of creature, like there could be a sequel, but we never got anything. So there we go. Next one, revisiting Spider-Man. So I bought this a few years ago, and still hadn't got around to watch it. I'd only seen it once at the cinema. I really, really wanted to watch it because I've been kind of down a nostalgic route with AJ and watching movies and something like this. And a lot of people have been mentioning about how much they like multiverse movies, and obviously with Deadpool, Wolverine and Doctor Strange featuring stuff like this kind of always sits on my top. So I rewatched it and actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a few years now, so I will a little bit of spoiler. Obviously this is great that it had obviously Daredevil in it, it had all the Spider-Men in it, not realising how short of a time the Spider-Men are actually in it. The time is more given to the villains, but thoroughly enjoyed this movie. This is a movie that had a lot of expectation, anticipation for a lot of people. For me, it wrote off the fact that you brought all of these characters back, but they all had a legitimate reason. I mean, it's a shame Hayden Christensen doesn't really feature on camera, and Rhys Ifans as the Lizards, I don't think, or they weren't really seen too much. They were seen in their digital forms. That could have been anybody with voice clips. Dr. Octavius, Goblin, all this stuff. Everyone else is kind of, and Jamie Foxx, they're all cured of their powers. They all kind of had, the evolution of Electro, where he has kind of the flash mask when it's done. Obviously, they had to kill Aunt May off in it. But I mean, this is these movies, specifically kind of this one, shows where Doctor Strange is really, really good as this kind of psychic role, as half using it. But I don't think they seem to get that when it comes to his movies. But yeah, just glad that they all come back. Obviously, my favourite Spider-Man, or my Peter Parker portrayal, is Andrew Garfield, and the fact that he gets redemption in this, and this is stuff of they all kind of get redemption and cured and everything like this. It wasn't cameos for the sake of cameos. It was for it. Maybe Matt Murdock, but you know, it could have been nice to have a little bit more in him. But still great to see. You know, still really, really, really. This sits quite high. This probably doesn't sit as high as Endgame. But it definitely sits up there for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cool, next one. So this will feature soon in another video, so I won't go too much to say. This is John Carter. I got the updated version because I had DVD, so I've upgraded to Blu-ray now. Quite enjoyed it. I think it might have been my system. The colouring was a little bit off, but I do enjoy this movie. Obviously, it's 100 years from when the book was originally wrote. And obviously was an enjoyable story. Tars Tarkin and everyone else. I can see where the problems are, but I'll be covering that in a future video, so we won't go too much into that. Obviously, as I've said, on my series runs, trying to get through several series to complete them. I've never completed this series. I have completed, but it is one of my favourite series of all time, and it is that 70s show. So season 5 finally finished off. Conveniently, I was watching this as I was watching that 90s show, and it just doesn't have the same appeal. Like characters Red and Kitty and stuff, they work so well, and I think the kids, and I don't know if it was just the right actors, the fact that maybe they were older and had a bit more experience, minus Mila Kunis because she was quite young when she started this, that it all worked so well. And I think that's some stuff that the new series actually lacks. I'm enjoying it, but not as, I mean, the end of season 2 was all right. Sorry, I'm talking about life thing, but the end of season is where Red has a heart attack. It's like I'm so much more invested, even though, you know, it's 5 shows. And then the final one we have is Mind Game. So this is one I bought on my last payday pickup, or would be 2 payday pickups from this video. This is on my 100 anime list. So this is a little weird, I'm going to say. So essentially you have this young lad who has grown up with this girl who's interested in, but she has a boyfriend. They go to this restaurant where the girl's sister is working. The boyfriend turns up, and then this kind of criminal gangster turns up. Everything goes awry. The main character, he is very scared and gets shot in the bum. Shoots him in the head and he dies. He goes to heaven, and then kind of he gets rewound to given a second chance. Given a second chance, he grabs the gun with his butt cheeks and shoots the bloke in his head. They steal the car, which has a load of drugs in it, and then him, the sister, and the kind of love interest, they drive away. As they're driving away, they drive off a bridge into a whale, and that's where they spend the rest of the time. It's a bit all weird. They have this kind of, if it's hard to see on there, they have this weird, so this art form isn't seen very often. This is actually, when it goes this form, it's actually the voice actors portraying the roles. Their faces are seen on screen, or a digital version of them. Then it goes to like an anime side of things, and it's very much artsy, and I will get, to me, I put this in the same category as the light is across the Spider-Verse movie. It's very artsy. The story's okay. Some of the designs are okay, but it flickers too much across a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and it kind of is a story, but it's not the greatest. It's more because the change in art style that it probably gets credited for. I say good to have it, good to add it to the collection, but yeah, it's not one I really highly rate. So that has been look what I've been watching. This is what I'm watching. Anything you agree, disagree, let me know in your thoughts and opinions down in the comment below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good rest of the week, and I shall see you in the next video.